First up, news just coming in. Israeli Defense Force says that it has struck 3 rocket launchers in the Gaza Strip. It claims the launchers had 20 rockets in them, all primed for an attack on central Israel. The strike came shortly after the Palestinian Islamic Jihad fired rockets at the southern city of Sderot. Now, in the attack, the IDF says the Iron Dome intercepted 3 rockets, and artillery forces later shelled the launch site. Remember, the IDF is on high alert amid intel that Iran or its proxies will strike at Israeli interests this weekend as a retaliation for the strike on its Syrian embassy on the 1st of April. Well, to give us a perspective on this, Mr. Joachim Bitterlich, who is a former German ambassador to NATO and former European diplomatic and security advisor to German Chancellor Helmut Kohl, is joining us. Sir, first up, give us what your first reaction to this recent news is. Is this in line with the imminent attack that we were all expecting?
I think it's in line because Iran has 2 alternatives. The one is the direct attack, and we know exactly the reaction of Israel. This would be a direct attack of Israel on Iranian territory with the support of certain Arab countries and of the Americans. Therefore, I think it's more, let's say, certain probability that the attack will be taken by proxies. And you have heard one example, it's from Gaza, the other one is Hezbollah, and the third one are the Houthis in South Yemen. Don't underestimate them. And therefore, I think the Israelis are taking seriously these attacks, the Americans too. And I think at the end, the Iranians know exactly their own limits in this case.
Okay, so we'll just come back to you in just a bit, just to give our viewers a perspective on what's been happening. Well, West Asia has been on edge, bracing for an Iranian attack. The region is tensed over what form it will take. Well, the next few hours are critical as the possibility of a wider war expanding in the region is increasing. Now, Iran is reportedly preparing to launch an attack on Israel as what it calls retaliation for the attack on its embassy in Syria on the 1st of April. We already got the news alert coming in where we saw that the IDF has intercepted 3 rockets there. And the offensive could occur in the southern or the northern regions as early as Saturday. And it has the potential to trigger an all-out regional war. US senior officials have said that Iran, in all likelihood, will attack Israel before the weekend. According to reports in Israeli media, Iran can launch missiles and drones today.
I can't speak to what the intelligence picture tells us in terms of the size, scale, scope of what that attack might look like. But except to say that we're taking this seriously, and believe me, so are our Israeli counterparts taking it seriously.
Iran has sent a message to the United States through the Arab countries, and I'm quoting from that here. If you intervene in a conflict between us and Israel, we will attack American bases in the region. Now, the warning comes as US President Joe Biden stated that he was expecting Tehran to attack Israel sooner than later. However, he has warned Iran against attacking, stressing that the United States will defend Israel.
We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel. And Iran will not succeed.
Biden, who had been receiving constant updates on the situation from his national security team, well, the 81-year-old commander-in-chief also issued a one-word warning to Iran.
What is your message to Iran? What is your message to Iran right now?
Mr. President, message to Iran in this moment?
Don't.
Despite the fears of regional tensions escalating, Israel's military has said that they have prepared plans to respond to a possible Iranian attack. According to the army's spokesman, Israel is ready for a wide variety of scenarios that include both defensive and offensive actions.
In the last 24 hours, we conducted reviews of plans for a wide variety of scenarios following reports and declarations of an Iranian attack. The commanders presented to the Chief of Staff the plans for defending and attacking and adjusting the operational response in all the areas.
While municipalities in Israel have reportedly been told to prepare for an attack, they've been told to ensure that all public shelters are ready for use. Civilians have also been asked to remain vigilant. Now, following a sharp rise in the tensions, countries including India, France, Russia, Poland and the United Kingdom have warned their citizens against travelling to Israel and in some cases the wider region amid threats of an Iranian attack. The French Ministry for Europe and Foreign Affairs has advised its citizens against travelling to Iran, Lebanon, Israel and the Palestinian territories. Along with France, India has advised its citizens not to travel to Iran or Israel till any further notice is issued. The travel advisory made by New Delhi comes as Iran is home to some 4,000 Indian nationals, while about 18,000 Indian nationals live in Israel. In addition to that, the advisory by India came in the middle of the government's efforts to facilitate travel of thousands of Indian construction workers to Israel, which is facing an acute labour shortage. According to reports, the flight for some 6,000 Indian workers has been halted. The Indian nationals were expected to arrive in April-May under a bilateral agreement between India and Israel. Meanwhile, the United States has been asked, in fact has asked its consulate staff in Israel to not travel outside the Greater Tel Aviv, Jerusalem and Beersheba area. Moreover, amidst the heightened tensions, some flights have also been cancelled to Tehran. The German airline Lufthansa has extended the suspension of its flights. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Joachim Bitterleg. Sir, if you can hear me clearly, in view of what we have just seen, as IDF has claimed that it has intercepted rockets that were fired in the southern city of Sderot, what do you say about the nature of the Iranian attack here? A lot was spoken about whether the attack is going to be direct or indirect. In view of what has happened recently, what would you speak about the strategy that Iran is perhaps going to adopt from here on?
As always, difficult to forecast what the Iranians will do. But up till now, they have, let's say, remaining always in certain limits. And these limits mean they do not act directly, but they act through proxies. And by the way, they know exactly, the Iranians, why the Israelis have been attacking the consulate in Damascus. They know it exactly, because these two generals were implied in the distribution of arms in Cisjordan land. And therefore, the Iranians know, and I think they will continue to act by proxies and not, let's say, pass this limitation. And proxies means Gaza, proxies mean Hezbollah via Lebanon, proxies means Houthis in Yemen. But the armament may be missiles or even drones. And therefore, I think the Israelis are well warned to be careful. I don't see a direct attack because the Iranians know exactly what would be the answer of Israel at the same moment. It would be the direct attack against nuclear installations and armament installations in Iran. And the Israelis would be helped, for example, by another neighbor. When you talk about Indians in this context, there is no direct attack against India. I don't see this. But on the other hand, don't exclude collateral damage. You never know.
Okay. Sir, also Joe Biden had said, to quote him here, that we are devoted to the defense of Israel, we will support Israel, we will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed. And this is among, tensions between, the diplomatic tensions between Netanyahu and Joe Biden in terms of Netanyahu's latest attack on Gaza. So what would you say will be the extent of United States' support to Israel, given the relationship between Netanyahu and Biden right now?
Well, please take note, there are deep tensions between Joe Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu on Gaza, on the execution of Gaza. And even some, people knowing well the Israeli army are telling me that the Israeli army is attacking in Gaza against its own will. They would have done it in a totally different way. And therefore, Joe Biden is deeply criticizing this. But if there is an existential threat to Israel, Joe Biden will not hesitate for any second to help, to assist Israel with all the American means in the region. And please be aware, the Americans are not only present in Israel, they are in the Mediterranean space, they are in the Gulf of Oman, they are in the Indian Ocean, they are at any place there. And the Iranians know this exactly.
So according to sources, a defense official said that the Pentagon was, quote-unquote, moving additional assets to the region to bolster regional deterrence efforts and increase force protection for U.S. forces and also to protect the Israeli forces. What can we speak about the extent of support that the U.S. is willing to provide to Israel here in terms of armaments and munition?
I'm not the specialist to know exactly what are the exact armament, but the armament you need in this case are Patriots. This is American, and the Americans can help in other fields with certain other weapons that may reach even Iran if necessary. It's a warning. You have heard Joe Biden telling this one word, warning to Iran, don't. This means don't attack. And I think this will be taken seriously in Iran.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Joachim Bitterlich, for joining us on the broadcast and giving us on your views on this very important subject.
It's a pleasure as always.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.